Welcome everyone. This is the MasterClass. My name is Patricknazareth. I have around 30 years of teaching experience and I would like to help you dispel your doubts, should you have any. Today we look at the lesson Oliver Asked for More, written by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was born in Portsmouth, England in 1812. He came from a poor family. His father went to debtor's prison. At the tender age of 12, Dickens was forced to work under terrible conditions. He began to work as a journalist and then began writing novels. Oliver Twist was published in 1837 to 1839 when Dickens was but 25 years old. He brought out clearly the horrible conditions in workhouses. Public opinion changed after this book was published, and it led to many reforms. He wrote many other famous novels, including Great Expectations, A Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, and A Tale of Two Cities. Dickens was a social reformer at heart. He used his writings to fight against poverty, child labor, and injustice. Dickens died in the year 1870 at the age of 58. He is buried at Westminster Abbey in London, the highest honor that could be given to any British writer. Have you ever thought of the courage it would require to stand up in front of someone or somebody and say, "This is not fair," when you know that you will have to suffer terrible consequences? We come to the story of Oliver Twist. We start with his birth in the workhouse. A young, unmarried woman has given birth. She is attended by a doctor and an old lady. She is given the baby, she kisses the baby, and she dies. The old lady who is present and the doctor discuss this girl. She is dead and gone. They point out that she had no ring on her finger, that her shoes, which were so worn down, showed how far she must have travelled to come to the workhouse. The doctor says it's a common occurrence. Young women who are not married get pregnant, and when they do, their house, their society casts them out, and they have no place to go but the workhouse. He is not bothered. He has done his job. He sees that the woman is dead, puts on his hat, and goes home to his dinner. The lady then gets along to wrapping the newly born child in clothes. We meet Mr. Beadle. He is in charge of the workhouse and he has been tasked with giving names to the children. He names his baby Twist. He follows an alphabetical system of naming. The baby before Oliver was called Swabble, S. Oliver is called Twist, T, and the baby who will come after will be called Unwin. We see Oliver grow up. At the age of 9, he is thin, he is underfed, and he is barely holding body and soul together. It is the same with the other boys in the workhouse. What are they fed? 3 small meals of gruel daily, and perhaps a piece of bread on Sundays or other festive occasions. They are fed from a large stone copper pot. Each boy gets 1 ladle of gruel, no more, no less. These children are so hungry that they literally lick the bowls clean with their spoons. These bowls don't need to be washed. The children, using the spoons again and again, clean them till they shine. And then what do? They keep on staring at the copper pot, as if with their stares itself they would get some respite from the hunger. Their bellies would be magically filled. 3 months of starvation and these boys are desperate. One particular boy tells the others, "If I don't get enough to eat, at least some more soup per day, I will eat the boy who sleeps next to me." The boys take this seriously. He could do it. So they have a meeting among themselves. The boys hold a lottery of sorts. Nobody wants to be the one to ask the master for more. Who wins? Oliver Twist? Perhaps in this case it is more accurate to say he loses. It is agreed then, the next day it is going to be Oliver who will ask for more food to eat. The next day, when the gruel is ladled out, everyone goes to their places and they start eating. It finishes soon, and then everyone looks at Oliver. The boys next to him nudge him. Boys further away encourage him to go and ask using gestures. He gets up, walks to the person who is ladling out the soup, and he says, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" The man turns pale. His assistants, who help him give out the gruel, are wondering what to do. And he says, "What did you say?" And the boy repeats, "Sir, Could I please have some more? He tries to hit Oliver with the ladle. He grabs hold of him and screams for Mr. Bumble. Mr. Bumble rushes into the boardroom where the board is meeting. And he tells them, there's this boy, Oliver Twist, he has asked for more. The head of the board says, more? After what he has been given? He is still asking for more? He can't believe it. Another member of the board tells him, this boy is destined for the gallows. In other words, he will meet an untimely and unseemly death. Everybody agrees with him. What is to be done with Oliver? First, he is beaten. Then, he is put into a cold, dark room. He spends the days crying. He is too cold to sleep at nights. He is brought out in the morning, washed, beaten as well. The board takes a decision. A notice is posted on the outside of the workhouse. People are invited to take Oliver as an apprentice, and the workhouse will give them £5 to take the boy off their hands. No one comes forward. Mr. Sowerberry, the local undertaker, meets Mr. Bumble. He is there to deliver 2 coffins. Why is that? 2 members of the workhouse, 2 women, have died, their hard lives coming to an end. Mr. Bumble sees an opportunity to get rid of Oliver, and he suggests to Mr. Sowerberry, don't you think you could do with an apprentice? You must be earning a lot of money from the sale of these coffins. And he takes a stick and knocks on the board where the notice is put, drawing Mr. Sowerberry's attention to the notice. And the excerpt ends here. What happens to Oliver? His faith hangs in the balance. Who are the characters in the story then? Oliver Twist, our protagonist, a 9-year-old orphan boy, pale, thin, weak from starvation. He is suffering, but yet he's a polite boy. Oliver's mother, young, unmarried. We have no idea where she has come from. She is unnamed. We only know that she is unmarried because she is not wearing her ring, and her shoes have been worn down because she has walked a lot. The doctor, a practical man, he is definitely cold to the suffering of others. He notices that the woman was good looking and had no ring and goes straight home to his dinner. The old woman, the midwife, who attends the birth, who sees the child being born, she realizes the boy is in for a rough time in his life, but she doesn't really care. Mr. Bumble, the beadle, the person in charge of the workhouse, a pompous, self-important and cruel man. He treats Oliver's request for food as a terrible crime. The master, a fat, healthy man who serves the thin soup to starving boys. He is well fed while the children starve. He becomes shocked and violent when Oliver asks for more. The workhouse boys, Oliver's companions, who are all in the same boat that he is. Starving, desperate children. The tall boy, he is mentioned as someone tall for his age. He is not used to starvation and threatens to resort to cannibalism. Mr. Limpkins, the head of the board, he is shocked that Oliver has asked for more food, treating it as a serious offense. The other gentleman in a waistcoat at the board, he predicts Oliver will be hung. He is judging a starving child as a future criminal simply because the child is asking for food. Mr. Sowerberry, an undertaker, he is making money off the coffins he is delivering to the poorhouse. He is profiting from the deaths of people who have lived hard lives. He may become Oliver's master. The settings in the story then? The workhouse. It's a grim prison-like institution for the poor. It's basically where unwanted people, orphans, the elderly, the sick, are sent. Conditions in the workhouse are deliberately made harsh so that people are discouraged from seeking help. The birthing room, where Oliver's mother gives birth to him and passes away. A simple, cold room with just a bed. It mirrors the lonely, uncaring environment where the poor die. The feeding hall, a large stone hall with a copper pot at one end. This is where Oliver asks for more. The boys sit at tables while the master ladles soup into their bowls from a pot. A cold, institutional place that emphasizes the boys' powerlessness. The dark confinement room. Oliver is kept locked up in this room. It is more like a prison cell. Oliver is beaten here daily. The workhouse gate, where the notice that is offering Oliver for apprenticeship is posted. The boundary between the workhouse and the outside world. Mr. Bumble meets Mr. Sowerberry here to decide Oliver's future. The literary device is used here. Irony, the master is fat and healthy and he's serving soup to starving pupils. Oliver is punished for asking for food just because he is literally starving. The workhouse offers to pay £5 to people to take Oliver. The doctor's cold indifference. He literally comments that the woman was good looking, then goes home to dinner without a second thought. Symbolism. The thin soup or gruel. The bare minimum society offers the poor. The empty bowl, mirroring Oliver's empty, deprived life. No wedding ring, social shame and abandonment. The worn out shoes. A long, desperate journey with no destination. Oliver's name, Twist, showing his twisted, unfortunate faith. Repetition. Please, sir, I want some more. This line is repeated twice in the novel. The emphasis is on Oliver being polite, even while he's starving, shows what an innocent boy he is. Contrast and juxtaposition. The fat master versus the thin, starving boys. The board members' horror at asking for food versus the actual horror of children starving. The mother's beauty versus her tragic, shameful death. Satire. Dickens mocks the workhouse of the system and society. The crime of asking for food is treated as seriously as murder. He should be sent to the gallows, as a board member remarks. The alphabetical naming system treats children like objects, not humans. Vivid description. The bowls never wanted washing. The boys polished them with their spoons till they shone again. They would sit starving, staring at the copper with such eager eyes, as if they could devour the very bricks. These descriptions bring the child's desperation, their hunger, to life. Understatement. Child as he was desperate with hunger and reckless with misery, understating the horror of a child so hungry that he risks being punished just to ask for more food. Foreshadowing. The world would have no pity or love for him, which predicts Oliver's hard life. The boy will be hung, which suggests the future troubles Oliver might face. Mr. Sowerberry is described as a man dressed all in black, tall and thin, suggests Oliver's next ordeal. Characterization through physical description. Mr. Bumble's self-importance is shown through his life and his actions. The master's fatness versus the boy's thinness. Oliver's paleness and thinness at 9 years old. What are the themes that come to light in this story? Child poverty and suffering. Oliver and the boys with him were starved, they are beaten, they are treated worse than animals. It shows us how society failed their most vulnerable members. Social injustice. The workhouse system, cruel, unjust. Children are punished just for being hungry. The wealthy board members make rules without understanding real suffering. And the poor are blamed for what? For simply being poor. Cruelty and indifference. Every adult in this story shows either outright cruelty or indifference to Oliver. The doctor goes home to dinner after the mother's death. The master hits Oliver for being hungry. Mr. Bumble treats Oliver's request as a crime. Society simply doesn't care about poor children. Innocence versus corruption. Oliver is innocent. He politely asks for food because he's starving. But society treats him as if he's corrupt or a criminal. Dehumanization. The workhouse system strips people of their very dignity, of their very humanity. Oliver's mother is given no name. Babies are named after an alphabetical system as if they are objects. Children are literally offered for sale. In fact, they're given with a gift. £5 is offered for Oliver. It shows us how poverty causes society to stop seeing people as human. Survival, the desperate hunger felt by the children, drives them to extreme measures. They have a lottery and risk punishment. One boy threatens to eat another. Poverty reduces people to basic survivalistic instincts. Class divide, the huge gap between rich and poor. The fat, well-fed master serves soup to starving children. The board members in their comfortable room judging a poor, starving child. Hypocrisy, Society pretends to help the poor through workhouses but actually punishes them. They claim to care about them but allow them to starve and beat them. They offer to pay people to take Oliver away, showing that their help is really about getting rid of problems, about brushing things under the carpet. Lack of identity. Oliver's mother has no name, no past, no future. Oliver is just given any name. The poor have no identity in society's eyes. They are just numbers, just problems to be managed. The power of the individual voice. Oliver's simple request, "Please, sir, I want some more," becomes an act of rebellion. Though he is punished, his voice speaks for all the voiceless, suffering children everywhere. This theme suggests that even the powerless can speak truth to those in power. Child labor and exploitation. The extract ends with Oliver being offered as an apprentice. Who was an apprentice? Often unpaid child labor, living in dangerous conditions. It shows us how children were exploited for profit. Death and morality. Oliver's mother dies. 2 women's coffins are ready, and people constantly die in the workhouse. Death surrounds the poor. Poverty literally kills people, yet society remains indifferent. Poverty is just good business for people like Mr. Sowerberry. That's the lesson for you then. I do hope I have been able to help. If I have, do remember to like, subscribe and share. Remember, there might be others who would be requiring our help. Thank you so much for watching.